February 1st, 1959, deep in the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia. 9 experienced hikers vanished without a trace. Days later, rescuers found their tent ripped open. From the inside, some bodies were discovered barefoot in the snow. One girl was missing her tongue, and to this day, nobody truly knows what happened that night. This is the terrifying true story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The group was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, an experienced hiking instructor. The mission seemed simple: cross the mountains and complete a winter expedition. The hikers were skilled. They weren't amateurs. Before leaving, they laughed, took photos, wrote in their journals. Everything felt normal. None of them knew those pictures would become the final moments of their lives. After several days without contact, search teams were sent into the mountains. What they found made no sense. Their tent was buried in snow. But strangely, it had been sliced open from the inside. As if something terrified them so badly, they escaped in seconds. Even worse, many footprints leading away from the tent were barefoot. The temperature that night dropped below -30 degrees Celsius. Nobody walks into that kind of cold without shoes, unless they're running from something worse. Search teams followed the footprints through the snow. Under a giant cedar tree, they found the first 2 bodies. The men were almost half naked. Their hands were torn apart and covered in injuries, as if they had desperately tried climbing the tree in panic. Nearby, rescuers found 3 more bodies, including Igor Dyatlov himself. It looked like they were trying to crawl back to the tent, but froze to death before making it. Months later, the final bodies were discovered under deep snow, and that's when the mystery became horrifying. One woman had no tongue. Another hiker suffered massive chest fractures so powerful, investigators compared them to a high-speed car crash, but there were barely any external wounds. It was like something crushed them from the inside. Then investigators discovered traces of radiation on some of their clothing. Radiation in the middle of a frozen mountain. During the Cold War, immediately, theories exploded everywhere. Some believed the hikers witnessed secret Soviet military experiments. Others claimed strange orange lights were seen floating above the mountains. That same night, some even believed the group encountered something not human. But no theory ever fully explained everything. Not the missing tongue, not the radiation, not why experienced hikers abandoned safety and ran into a deadly blizzard, nearly naked. The Soviet government eventually closed the case with a chilling explanation: an unknown compelling force. That was the official answer. An unknown force. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass mystery still remains unsolved.